Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So I have to make a confession. It had been, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 days since I last made a video. The last one was about Steve. And the next day I took the machine home to start working up the guitar part, you know, like the little guitar solo thing. And I thought everything was all fine and dandy. I'm just, you know, working on my guitar. Start listening to the chorus and I'm like, man, this whole song is bagged because of this chorus. It's like, you know, the verse is up here, then you get to the chorus and it just drops off. And on that harmony video, I thought everything was fine and dandy, but I was listening to it and I was like, man, the chorus is, I'm like singing so low. And then the harmony's not really picking it up enough. And it didn't really sound that great. And I was like, man, this is panic time, you know. So I was like, okay, how can I sing this chorus? And this is the problem I had all along. And I'm going to chalk up this entire episode to not playing out live and not touring, you know, because what would have happened is in the old days I would have written this song, shown it to the guys, they would have agreed or disagreed, you know, that it's a good song or good enough to play, and then once we got agreed that it was worth working on, we would begin to work on it and play it out, and I would start figuring out how to sing it. Maybe the first night I'd sing it low and be like, oh, you can't do it that because it's not delivering anything for the audience. They're waiting for something to happen and you're dropping down. So you would have figured that out. And over time you would have figured out exactly how to sing it. But when we're in this kind of environment and I'm like, you know, DIY recording at home or in this space, and you're just trying to come up with material, record it, and in that process, it's almost early for the song, like the song hasn't had a chance to live and breathe, and so it takes a lot of experimentation. So I sang it one notch up, one full step, and I thought that would fix it. Went home and listened to it, same problem. Little better, but still not quite right. So then sitting there with my wife, you know, I'm like telling her about it. She's like, just relax, you know. Of course I'm not relaxing. I'm like getting pretty worked up about it. So I made a whole video of me singing it to step up. And I came home and watched the video and I was like, for starters, it's still not fixing the problem. And I look like I'm going crazy. Like I look like I'm nuts in the video. And I'm like, I'm not going to put this out and make people think I've lost my mind. I just looked super hyped trying to sing it. And so then I sitting around talking to my wife about it, like I said, and I suddenly sang it really high. I was like, maybe I should just sing it like high. I can't even remember how to do it right now. I'm so burned out. And and she was like, yeah, that's the way to do it. She just heard it, and I heard it. I was like, and it's kind of like my song, The Fighter. The chorus, it starts with a chorus kind of. It's like the whole song's kind of a chorus. And it's high. And I was like, oh, it's just like that. It's in that range. That's high for me. It's the note. It's not high singing. I could sing that high. There's something about just saying those notes with that guitar part that gets a little high. And it's stepped down one half too. That I'm tuned down, not because I'm trying to sing low, but because of the type of music I'm playing. That makes a different sound when you got the guitar tuned down for these types of bluesy tunes, riffy tunes. So then I came in here, I guess this is the fifth night in a row of coming in here and grinding, trying to get the chorus to happen. The other thing I discovered that was really disappointing is that idea of doing the multi-track thing where sing the verse, running out of air, come on and on and on, running out of air, excited, that's the note, it's up there. And so when you're coming off that, come on and on, or turn on it, whatever the different words are, you're basically out of air because you sang those two phrases that were really long. It's like a Kate Bush vocal or something. It just keeps going. And then you got to somehow go from that, gonna turn on and on and on and on, excited. And so it's a challenge. It was a challenge to get that up. So that took a long time, because you're just running out of air. And I found out that trying to record the chorus vocal separately did not work. It's fine on that second chorus, that little overlap thing, it was fine. That little exciter word that's set off to, on the left side of the speaker. on the second chorus. That was fine to have that overlap. That worked great. But the overlap idea, because I was running out of air, just didn't work. So this is the third night of singing high just to try to nail it. Because if I was out on the road, I wouldn't nail it as perfectly as I would here. As I would hear myself through the PA or through the monitors, I'd be like, ooh, I hit it that time. Next time I hit it, it's a moment to come to the mic. Ooh, I got it again. And you start going, oh, right there I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to add a little word here. I'm going to say the exciter, and I'm going to say you excite me right there. Add a personal pronoun right there, and add an article. Just little phrasing things that you feel live naturally, and that you just start adding them in, and it's like, oh, cool. Well, those things are being discovered as you record instead, and I don't think they get developed quite as well. So this isn't ideal, but I always say these songs are not the last time I'm going to record them. I see it as more of like a demo in the first place. So the main thing, the reason I was going through with this whole exercise is that I hope if anybody else out there is wired like I am, where I've started thinking these lyrics, this song, it's almost kind of apropos, because this song's about a guy who's like up and down, bipolar, whatever. I don't know if that's what my problem is, manic, OCD, something like that, where you just get stuck on stuff. I don't know what the problem is, but this song, the reason I wrote these lyrics this way is because I felt like that's what was happening, like when it starts happening. And I really felt like I was going into an episode, and I could see it on camera. It was like kind of disturbing. And I was like, man, I don't want to put that out there. These people think I've lost my mind, getting so worked up, about this material that nobody's going to probably hear anyway. It's like so crazy. It's just my own personal little art project. It's not really, it's no big thing, but man, oh man. I guess because of my background, it used to be so much pressure. Oh my Lord. I can't even describe. If you're trying to be in the big, mega corporate rock thing, and you get on a big management company, and the labels are doing their thing on you, and the publishers, and it is so stressful. Oh my Lord. You're just so worried all the time. And if you go to a session, everybody's there critiquing every little thing, making you feel like you can't, do anything right. You just get so, and there's no reason to feel that way. I'm not in that state. I'm just doing this, So I don't know if anybody else goes through this, but it is, not good. And I think it has to be dealt with. You cannot let it do its thing. You got to, and I felt like I stopped it. I got it under control and calmed down. Realized that it might take a while to sing it. I still may not be done. I'm going to play it back for you and let you see what I did. But it still may be. I may come up here for 7 more nights and just spot fix it, as much as I can. But it's really tough to spot fix it. You'll see, because it just flows. There's not any breaks, so it's hard. You can go in and fix the exciter. You can fix not the first one, but you can fix the other ones because there's enough space, so you can kind of target those. So if we listen back and I hear something off key too much or just wrong, I can always go back and fix those. Now, I have to admit, one of the things I found out when I was recording with Steve is he despised double tracking. Now, he didn't despise it, but he told me it was overused, and that he was resentful of the George Martin kind of Beatle approach, because he thought that the Beatles were awesome, and that he actually liked the Beatles as people because he met some of them up at Abbey Road. But he was resentful of the way it was recorded, where it didn't sound like a live band as much. Like you didn't hear loud guitar and you heard really up vocals. And his thing was like to make it sound like it was being played live. So I think he just thought double tracking made the voice sound artificial. But I have to admit, luckily he won't hear it, I mixed in a little double track. And I'll tell you when I did it on the choruses, and it wasn't to gloss up. I'm not trying to pretty it up or make it sound more slick. I was trying to just build up the volume, because like I said, when you start running out of the come on and on, exciter, hard to get there. So I wanted to just give it a little beef. I may dump it, but for now it's making me feel good to have it in there. And so while I was doing that, I went ahead and sang one to the other second chorus too, and I'll just pull it down real low just to give a little presence. And then over time I may decide I don't need it, but for right now it's like a security blanket to to have it in there. So let me just play back what I've got here. It's not going to sound great yet. In fact, let me just put it in mastering mode real quick. I'll come right back with some kind of mix of some sort, so it's not just a disaster, because like I said, I've been working on it, so the levels are crazy. It's mostly like really loud vocal, you know, the vocals are up high and everything else is kind of down. So let me just get it in some kind of reasonable proximity of a rough mix so that you can hear what I did, and hopefully you'll agree that I think I don't know if it made the song good or not, but it at least made it a workable tune. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I got it in some kind of reasonable approximation of a rough mix. It's a little vocal heavy, sorry, and I put it in mastering mode, and the usual settings in mastering mode, I'll go to that real quick. I'll put it up on the screen so you can just see what I usually do. I'm going to go to edit. We got the low and high at 50 Hertz, the sense is high, mid is 5, low is 5, so those are all 5s. So is the mix high, mix mid, mix low. Next screen is normalizer. I have the gain on 0, I don't like that. 3-band EQ 555, level 62, dimension reso off, patch level 24, noise reduction off. But you can always go and try those noise reductions, and I might try them myself. But for right now, I'm going to leave them off, because I typically don't love any kind of like noise reduction system. All right, here we go. It'd probably be very vocal heavy, because that's what I'm trying to show you. It won't be like a great mix. Hold on, that exciter got a little up. Make sure it's okay. And that is all. It's missing the guitar solo, but I think you can see what I was trying to do with the higher chorus. And I might go and fix little bits here and there. I could tell that some of it was sung a little louder, so I'll have to go in post-production and mess with. I'm going to go look at that real quick and just see what the track looks like, but I can go in there and the ones that aren't as loud, just pick them up. And I'm going to push all those Exciter! I'm going to push those up so they, you know, project more, because like I said, I was running out of air every time I sang them, so they don't sound as loud. They may not sound as loud as they should, but hopefully you can hear what I'm trying to do. There goes the train. I've been fighting that for the past 5 days, like every time I tried to start to sing, and then it was raining too. Insane. Really kicks up the cuckoos. Alright, so hopefully everyone is having success with their projects and not doing what I was doing. I do not recommend this mindset. It is not productive, doesn't get anything done. It didn't help at all. I could have gotten to this point by being calm. I didn't need to get like insane about it. So it's a flaw, and it's got to be dealt with, because I think it's messed me up many times before. So stay strong out there, work through it. It's a mental battle just as much as it is a musical or, you know, physical battle. It's all up in here. If you can get this right, this stuff starts to flow, and you don't have so many hang-ups. I mean, it's just a stupid song. It doesn't even matter. Probably never be heard, so there's no reason to get worked up. So hopefully you're not doing that. And if you're watching me do it, I'm aware of it, and I'm going to work on it. Thanks so much for hanging with me. See you next time.